Welcome back to the Irish Bandit channel. I hope everybody is doing excellent. I, as always, am your host, the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit. Now, if you watch my channel for any period of time, you know one of my favorite shows right now is the Netflix animated adult original series, Big Mouth. It is just such a well-scripted, well-animated show created by Nick Kroll and Andrew Goldberg. Nick Kroll actually does a lot of the voices on the show, including Judd Burch, who is actually a representation of him as a teenager. He also does the voice of everyone's favorite hormone monster, Maurice. He does the voice of Coach Steve, Rick, the other hormone monster, Coach Steve's hormone monster, and Nick's hormone monster. Oh God, he just does a bunch of voices, and he's kind of like Seth MacFarlane. You know, he does the production of everything, the writing, and then he does the voices for it. Kind of like how Seth MacFarlane does the voice of Peter, Stewie, Quagmire, Brian, Tom Tucker, Carter Pewterschmidt. He just does a whole lot of voices on that show. It's kind of the same way with Nick Kroll. So I've really been loving the show as of late. Well, not as of late. I've been loving it since the very beginning. But there's one thing that has ran through the series that it's something that I haven't had any closure with yet, and it's kind of bugging me, and today we're going to talk about it. Introduced in season 1, we got to meet what was dubbed the Ponytail Killer. Now here we are so many seasons in, we still have no idea who the Ponytail Killer is. Well, today on this video, I'm going to theorize who I think the Ponytail Killer is. That is such a mouthful to say, and I've narrowed it down to 3 suspects. So before I get to my theories about who I think it is, let's just go over a little bit of backstory. The first appearance of the Ponytail Killer was in the episode The Porn Escape, which was the final episode of season 1, when the kids went on a field trip to the police station. Detective Florence and Detective Dumont were studying their crime board of the Ponytail Killer, trying to figure out who he or she was. Just a quick note, this is all from the Big Mouth fan wiki. So, Coach Steve, one of my all-time favorite characters, he came across the board, started mentioning how much he knew about the victims and the crime scenes, and then the detectives started to suspect that Coach Steve was the Ponytail Killer himself and brought him into questioning. But, I mean, if you've seen the show, you know how much of a doofus Coach Steve, lovable doofus, but how much of a doofus he is. I don't think he could be capable of even swatting a fly, honestly and truthfully. So you won't see Coach Steve in my lineup. Later, through a POV shot of the Ponytail Killer, he was looking through the bushes, eyeballing Jessie, one of the lead characters, on her date with Jay. The Ponytail Killer considered her a victim before she undid her hair and let loose her ponytail, to which he then added Carl Langerfield to his list as he walked by. He had a white ponytail. Ooh, hey. Okay, this is totally coincidental that I put my hair back into a ponytail because it's so friggin' hot out, but, you know, we'll just run with it. Later in the episode, Carl is shown laying dead in a dumpster outside Temple Beth Amphetamine. Nice one, guys. In the episode Smoocher's Share, the Ponytail Killer made another appearance via POV shot. He was driving at night when Coach Steve came rolling by on a bunch of golf balls. You just expect that from Coach Steve, honestly and truthfully. And got in the way. Ponytail Killer panicked and swerved out of the way to avoid him and crashed into a tree. And after this, the trunk of his car popped open and a woman escaped from the trunk. She had her mouth taped shut, and her hands were tied together with rope. She was going to be one of his victims, but she didn't have her ponytail cut off at that point, so she was able to get away. And since then, we've had no mention and no sight of the Ponytail Killer. But, like I said in the intro, I have 3 people who I think could be, possibly, the Ponytail Killer. The first one I'm going to get out of the way because while he's likely, I don't think it's him. I have 2 others that are more likely, but given how he is now, he could go down that road of being a criminal. So the first one we're going to look at is Nick's brother, Judd Burch. Judd is known for having a dark outlook on life who matches the goth stereotype. He doesn't want to spend time or socialize with anyone, especially his family. He prefers to do whatever he does alone, which, automatically marks a serial killer right there. He's pretty negative and does not like to specify much about himself. Like even when Judd Burch asks, "So Judd, what did you do today?" Don't want to talk about it. He's very secretive and very, very loner-esque. He describes himself as agent of chaos, as mentioned in the episode Obsessed. He desires destruction and wants madness and disarray to plague the world for really no reason at all. He's just one of those guys who wants to watch the world burn, basically. He fashions himself as an anti-establishment insurgent, spray painting anarchist symbols around the neighborhood, and having written at least one political manifesto. So while Judd's motivations seem to be more political, I don't see him as the Ponytail killer, because it just doesn't fit. He has all the traits. Like if you're looking at this from a behavioral science standpoint, yeah, he exhibits all the traits. But I don't think murder is in his, serial murder is part of his forte. Because, how can you think somebody's a serial killer who trains a bunch of raccoons to run a mobile waiter service? So, I don't know. Judd just doesn't seem like it. Like the reason why I added him was because he does exhibit all the personality traits, like I said, but I don't think it's him. There are two more who I think are more likely to be, and really, it could interchange between the two of them, but knowing Big Mouth and the writers of Big Mouth, the final episode could come around, we never have another mention of the Ponytail killer, and then all of a sudden, last 30 seconds of the episode, Marty Glauberman comes on screen and says, "And you want to know who the Ponytail killer was? It was me!" And then walks off and ends series. I don't know about you, but I'd honestly be satisfied with that. No, I wouldn't. I want to see somebody actually be the Ponytail killer. So we're going to get into the two who I think it might be, given what we know of them. And the first one that I really have to consider is Leo or Paul Bart. I know you're wondering to yourself, who the hell is that? Well, let me tell you. So the first time we hear of Leo Paul Bart, that's just what I'm going to call him. I'm not going to get the full name. I'll never remember it. But the first time we hear anything about Leo is from his father, Rabbi Paul Bart, talking about him. We then meet him in the episode Guytown, as he is Jesse's father's roommate after his divorce from Jesse's mother. I don't remember his name, but oh well. We meet him in the Guytown episode, and he's depicted as a strange and creepy guy who could be considered a pedophile, since he began to harass Jesse about being his father's ex, and apart he made sounds of satisfaction. So he kind of throws off that vibe a little bit. That even with that description there, it's a short description, I know, but he could. He kind of throws off that vibe to me, because everything we don't know much about him, really, just what Rabbi Paul Bart said about him. And I have to say, that name is friggin' hilarious, Rabbi Paul Bart, considering this is my opinion, and I'm going to get into opinion territory here, which, I mean, honestly, some people might take the same opinion I do with this. But I think it's funny that they call him Rabbi Paul Bart, because I think Paul Blart Mall Cop is one of the worst movie series ever. Like, to me, it ranks up there with Napoleon Dynamite bad. I did not care for that movie at all. Or Paul Blart. And how it got a sequel is beyond me. Okay, we're not talking about Paul Blart here. We're talking about Paul Bart. Wait a minute. Okay, Bandit, back to the topic at hand here. So, yeah. It's a very good chance that Leo Paul Blart could be the Ponytail killer, and if he is, then success on my part for bringing that theory. But there's one more person that I think, and I think he is my main suspect of who this Ponytail killer is. That being Jay Bilzerian's father, Guy Bilzerian. So just from his description alone, Guy Bilzerian tends to live the life of a bachelor despite being married. He doesn't care what other people think of him, as he said in Guytown, and he lives balls out and 0 F's given. Of course, I'm not going to age restrict this video because it really did a bad thing for my Paradise PD video, but whatever. So I'm not going to age restrict this one. But given everything we know about Guy Bilzerian and that he's just a total scumbag, lawyer at war, as he calls himself, I think one of my favorite running gags of the show is when Jay quotes one of his father's law commercials and somebody like Jesse says, quit quoting your dad's law commercials. Well, I don't care. I absolutely love the character of Jay Bilzerian, but we're not talking about Jay, we're talking about his father. Just given everything, he just comes off as this scumbag lawyer who could subvert the system to his own whims because, you know, he is a lawyer. He knows the fine tuning of the fine print and everything. So he could definitely get away with murder for a long time, if not captured, or if he doesn't turn himself in. So that really gets me thinking maybe Guy Bilzerian is the Ponytail killer. And he'd have a perfect place to stash his victims too. Well, I mean, other than the dumpster outside of Temple Beth Amphetamine, he'd have a perfect place to hide the bodies too in Guytown as well, you know. And then maybe pin the murder on somebody else who lives in the bachelor apartment. Who knows? I think Guy Bilzerian, no, not Jay, but I think Guy Bilzerian is the likely suspect, is going to be the likely outcome for the Ponytail killer. But like I said previously, they could probably make anybody, like they could probably invent a character and be like, yeah, it was me all along. And another thing, what the hell is up with those two Swedish twins? We met them in like the Smooch and Share video, or Smooch and Share episode. Yeah, again, voiced by Nick Kroll. Yeah, we're from Sweden, yeah. And then all of a sudden they get all creepy and be like, yeah, we're going to eat the fat one, yeah. You don't know they don't know we're cannibals, yeah. And then at one point in time they had like sharp teeth and something like that. It's really weird. I hope they do something with that soon as well, but that's another video for another time. So yeah, I strongly think Guy Bilzerian is the Ponytail killer. So there you have it, my theories on who I think the Ponytail killer is. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Do you think I'm right? Do you think it's somebody else? Let me know down below. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Also down below in the description, you're going to see a link to my Redbubble store where you can pick up all your Irish Bandit merchandise, be it t-shirts, leggings, travel mugs, coffee cups, stickers, cases for iPhone, Android, iPad, whatever you want, you can find it at the Redbubble store, Irish Bandit shop. Get your fill. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, tap the bell and you'll be notified when I go live with a brand new video. I think I'm going to take some time off after this video, guys. It is summertime and it's getting way too hot, and I have to do this in my apartment, so I'm going to take a couple weeks off, but I'll be back in probably a couple weeks. We're going to let the weather play out, and if it's nice enough, I'll come back with another video in a couple weeks. So until then, guys, take care, and I'll talk to you very soon.